to AC 24/7. I'm Aaron Dean. On Monday, May 1st, Jordan Neely was killed after being held in a chokehold by a Marine veteran on a New York City subway. This after Neely got on the train and shouted at passengers that he was hungry, thirsty, and fed up with having nothing. This week, people across the city are protesting, asking for justice in Neely's case after the NYC Medical Examiner's Office ruled the 30-year-old's death a homicide. No charges have been filed. This is a video taken of protesters chanting in the Broadway Lafayette subway station. Take a listen. And here is the victim, Jordan Neely, seen performing as Michael Jackson on the subway nearly 10 years ago. Street performers who knew Neely described him as a kind and gifted impressionist, but they say that he sank into depression after his mother's murder in 2007. She was strangled to death. Neely was only 14 at the time and testified against his mother's boyfriend. The man who pulled out his cell phone to record what happened on the subway is now talking about what he saw. The Advocate Channel's Omar Jimenez reports, "We must warn you that some of this footage can be considered disturbing."
Witnesses say it all started when Jordan Neely was acting erratically, as he reportedly said he was fed up and hungry.
Start to yelling, violence, language. I don't care if I die, I don't care if I go into jail, I don't have any food, I don't have any beverage, I'm done. And then he put out the jacket and hit it on the floor.
Juan Alberto Vasquez was there and says despite any aggressive and frightening behavior, Neely hadn't attacked anyone, even if he was making passengers uncomfortable. Not long after, Vasquez says, another passenger came up behind Neely and put him in a chokehold. Vasquez says he didn't hear any interaction between them beforehand, he just heard them fall to the ground. He shot this video minutes into the altercation.
We arrive at the station, the doors open, all the people run away, and the guys stay in this position about 8 minutes.
Another passenger appears to be helping restrain Neely. It's also unclear how long in total he was in the chokehold, since this didn't capture the start of it. But Neely later lost consciousness and was pronounced dead at a nearby hospital. The medical examiner's office says he died because of compression of the neck, calling it a homicide. No charges have been filed. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office says they're assessing all photo and video footage to identify and interview as many witnesses as possible.
People who are dealing with mental health illness should get the help they need and not live on the train. And I'm going to continue to push on that.
Last year, New York City's Mayor Eric Adams was criticized for directing first responders and the NYPD to enforce a law allowing them to involuntarily commit people experiencing a mental health crisis as part of an attempt to address concerns about homelessness and crime. Protests in support of Neely have called for answers.
It could have been somebody there to help him, broke it up or anything, stop the whole situation, but it's like at the same time he don't deserve to lose his life just for being on the train. I think he should still be alive today.
Drag Race star Shangela is being accused of rape in a California lawsuit. Daniel McGarrigle filed a civil suit on Wednesday alleging Darius Jeremy Pierce, who performs as Shangela, raped him in the entertainer's hotel room on February 25th, 2020. The alleged victim is also alleging sexual harassment, false imprisonment, and violation of the Ralph Act, which bans threats of violence against a person based on their race, identity, sexual orientation, gender identity, or religion. Pierce has denied all charges, saying that the accusations have been fully investigated and found baseless by investigators. Dr. Rochelle Walensky, the director of the CDC, is leaving her position. The agency and President Joe Biden announced the change Friday. In a statement, President Biden thanked Walensky for leading, quote, a complex organization in the front lines of a once-in-a-generation pandemic with honesty and integrity, end quote. Walensky's last day on the job will be June 30th. And switching gears, the labor market reversed course. Now that's according to the latest data released by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Employers added 253,000 jobs last month. That increase surprised economists who were expecting about 180,000 jobs to be added and for job growth to decline for the third consecutive month. Overall, unemployment rates fell slightly from 3.5% to 3.4%. For Black Americans, the Bureau of Labor Statistics said that the unemployment rate dropped from 5% in March to 4.7% last month. That's a record low and a sharp drop from February's 5.7%. And it's Cinco de Mayo, a day to celebrate Mexican culture, but it's also a time when Americans tend to overindulge. From fatty foods to syrupy drinks, celebrating can have you collecting those calories. Health experts say to be mindful of what you choose to eat. That starts with snacking. Mexican cuisine offers a lot of opportunities to eat veggies, so health professionals are saying fill your plate up with those. And if you're going to enjoy a margarita, do so in moderation while consuming lots of water. And excitement is high ahead of the coronation of King Charles III. Over 2,000 invitations have been sent out with royal family members, politicians, world leaders, and community representatives among the attendees. The Advocate Channel is in London with a look at what to expect from an event that is 70 years in the making.
Preparations are well underway for tomorrow's big event. Early morning rehearsals have been taking place along the procession route where hundreds of people have already lined up, waiting for their chance to witness history. High above the crowded streets,
135 meters above London,
a view from a modern vehicle. One William the Conqueror couldn't have imagined when he became the first king crowned in Westminster Abbey nearly 1,000 years ago.
we had turned one of our London Eye pods into a coronation capsule. You have a replica of 700 years old coronation chair.
King Charles III will be seated in the real coronation chair Saturday as he accepts his crown in a ceremony not seen in 70 years.
We have, of course, the crowning, we have the anointing, and then there will be a big procession from the Abbey. And all of that happened with the King's mother, Queen Elizabeth II.
While maintaining much of the traditional pageantry, there are signs that Charles intends to leave his stamp on the institution.
He wants to make changes, and we can see this in the coronation.
The regalia also merging the old and new, from the historic robes and royal jewels to the carriages. One delivered in 2014, another dating back to 1762.
There are very few monarchies which have retained coaches working of this age, and therefore it's an incredibly special thing to see.
Those hoping to catch a glimpse of the royals in those coaches lining the streets days in advance.
I think he's going to make a wonderful king.
He's waited all of his life for
Yeah.
this. This is what he's been trained for.
Yeah.
This is what his birthright is.
And the security operation underway is massive as well. London's Met Police says the deployment of 11,500 officers tomorrow for the coronation marks the largest single-day deployment for the force in decades. Reporting in London, I'm Riley Carlson.
Thank you for joining us for AC 24/7. For more, go to advocatechannel.com and subscribe to the Advocate Channel YouTube page. For AC 24/7, I'm Aaron Dean.